The Oklahoma Department of Tourism is teaming up with the state's Trout Unlimited Chapter to host Oklahoma's first statewide fly fishing tournament. The Daly Invitational kicks off tomorrow, and it's definitely not your average fishing tournament. Oklahoma's Trout Unlimited Conservation Chair, Jake Miller, is here to tell us everything we need to know about this. Thanks for being here with us this morning.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You organized the tournament, and it seems really unique to me, so explain how it will work. You know, they're not fly fishing for trout, it's for bass instead.
Right. Most of the time, I think people think of fly fishing specifically for trout or only for trout, or maybe even the film A River Runs Through It has a lot to do with that. But here in Oklahoma, we like to fish for bass as well. And so this tournament kind of specifically highlights largemouth bass, smallmouth bass, white bass, and striped bass. And the tournament's based on length, so the top 3 fish in each of those species categories will get prizes and be on the podium.
And you have to be fly fishing on public waterways, right?
Yeah, so that's one of the things we wanted to highlight, especially through the Department of Tourism, is just how much water we have in Oklahoma that you can fish on and have great fish populations.
I love this about this tournament. It's catch, picture, release.
Right.
And it makes it kind of an honor system, but there is a way that you can tell whether or not that fish was... Explain it. I can go into detail, but you go into detail more.
Yeah, so basically we have the Department of Tourism gave us these little float keychains, and I will be giving out all of these tomorrow to the anglers.
So they're right here. That's the float keychain.
And what you have to do is when you take a picture with your bass, you have to have that element in the picture so that we know that all of the pictures took place over the last couple days. So you can't be out fishing weeks before trying to get those big fish. But what we'll have anglers do is activate their location settings on their phone, and then it'll go to a wildlife department biologist whenever they take the picture, and they will verify whether or not that was caught in public water and whether or not it's the species that the angler suggests it is.
And the picture will be on something that tells the length, so you'll know how long it is as well.
Yes, so one of the requirements is that they're taking on what are called bump boards, which are basically just fixed rulers that the fish sit on, and it makes it a little quicker process so you don't have the fish out of the water for very long.
Let's talk about Pat Daly. He was an important figure here in Oklahoma when it comes to conservation and fishing. Explain why you chose his name to be the invitational name.
Yeah, so Pat Daly, I mean, I would call him a mentor, but when I moved back to Oklahoma 5 years ago, he kind of found me, and we worked together on a lot of conservation projects through Trout Unlimited. But he was the conservation chair for 9 years before I became it, and just did an incredible job. He's seen as a leader in the conservation community in Oklahoma, and I just wanted to do something that I felt like kind of memorialized him.
Well, Trout Unlimited, that's the main component, conservation. All of the money raised from this tournament goes back into TU?
Yes, so all of the money, it's a $50 fee to get in, and all of the money that we raise from that and the raffle at the after party will go right back into the conservation programs that we already operate and some new ones that we're putting in. So things like Trout in the Classroom, where we actually go into schools and teach kids about the life cycle of the trout, and they actually raise trout in their classroom. And then they go to the lower Illinois River and release those trout, and it's kind of seeing the whole picture. That's one of the ones that we really like. We also do trout stockings in La Fortune Park at the pond there during the winter. So you can actually go to that pond, and really it's meant to get kids involved so that urban kids learn about fishing.
Well, you all do wonderful work. Real quickly, you don't have to be an angler to be part of this. We're calling it Thirsty Thursday because you're also the owner of Rustic Heirloom Ales. You're going to have a big award ceremony there on Sunday evening. What can folks expect out of that?
Yeah, so if you come to Heirloom, it's from 5 to 9 on Sunday. We're going to have a raffle with a bunch of really cool, like Yeti coolers, a bunch of local art, all kinds of things you could win, even maybe a fly fishing trip. And then we're also going to have live music from Jared Tyler, who's an incredible songwriter who writes a lot of songs about fishing. And then we'll also have pictures and the award ceremony for all of the fish. So please come out, eat pizza from Dante's Wood Fire. It's going to be an incredible time.
It is, and you can get one of these. We're calling it Thirsty Thursday here.